Would you like to know how to use energy testing to find subconscious blocks? The Change Anything Now process is all about finding and deleting the subconscious blocks that limit you. Now, a lot of blocks we're aware of. We might consciously know that we have certain beliefs that are in our way, and then all we have to do is delete them. But many times, the blocks are located in the subconscious, that part of the mind that we don't actually have direct access to very often. And oftentimes they're irrational beliefs that are absurd to the conscious mind, and so we don't even suspect them. So how do you find a subconscious block that's in the subconscious and it's locked in there and it's absurd? Well, I use applied kinesiology or energy testing. What I learned during my studies as a body worker and martial artist is that when you expose the body to a toxin or anything that disrupts the normal flow of subtle energy in the body, that the muscles will momentarily weaken. In martial arts, many fighters take advantage of this by crossing the body purposely to disrupt the energy or striking a specific point, which will then weaken the opponent for a moment and they can come in and give the fatal blow. We're not going to be doing any fatal blows here, but we're going to use the same idea. Whenever you say something that's not true, it disrupts the subtle energy in your body, and for a moment your muscles will weaken. So in energy testing, we take advantage of that. By putting two fingers together and saying something that's true, we find that the muscles stay strong. So if I say Dorena, I am Dorena, it'll be strong. If I say something like I'm Bob, for just a moment, it becomes weaker and the muscles, and I can break through that hold. Here, just watch this demonstration. So let's check a couple things. So let's look at the muscle testing.
Okay. Do you want me to stand?
No, we're going to try the fingers. So
Okay.
pick any two fingers, hold them together.
Okay.
And then just hold firm. So the way this works is that when the body is getting something that's true, you can hold your muscles firm, and then when it's saying something that's not true, there tends to be a blip and things will separate.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull them apart. So if you close your eyes and just hold firm, and then say yes,
Yes.
and then say no.
No.
So hold firm and say no.
No.
That pops pretty good. You're a popper. Okay, so say I'm Marlene. Hold firm and say I'm Marlene.
I'm Marlene.
And then say I'm Bob.
I'm Bob.
Okay. Then say I will lose my leg to a tourniquet.
I will lose my leg to a tourniquet.
Wasn't real clear. How did that seem?
Unclear.
Unclear. It could be a yes or no. So sometimes the finger method isn't working, or I'm working with someone who's remote from me and so I can't actually test with their fingers. Then what I do is I have them stand up and face north. The body will work as a pendulum in this case, moving forward when something true is said and moving backwards when something false is said. Here's a demonstration of that method.
Okay.
So with this one, we're going to face this way.
All right.
North usually works pretty well, and just close your eyes and feel yourself gently come to center, balanced. And then usually the body works like a pendulum, so if you have your eyes closed and you say yes, you'll move forward. And then say no, and usually fall back. See how that works. So
Okay,
say
I think
yes.
I need to move away from this
Couch a little bit.
I'm saying yes.
And which way do you go?
That way.
Okay, with a no?
No. Oh, it was like almost like felt like a pull.
Now, energy testing isn't completely necessary for the Change Anything Now process. There's some people that are just aware of what they believe on a subconscious level. And you can play around with this. You can see if you have that kind of sensitivity, and if you don't, you can develop it. So what you do is you just close your eyes, you get centered, and you say something that's true. I am Dorena. And get a sense of what that feels like within your body and being. Then say something that's false. I am Bob. And see if you can see a difference between the two statements. Go back and forth with a true statement and a false statement, and you might be one of those people that has enough awareness to be able to tell the difference. Then you can play around with things that you're not sure of and see if you can tell the difference. So you can develop the ability to actually know your own truth 100% of what your mind is really believing. I'd like to invite you to check out my podcast, Positive Change with Dorena. If you're interested in learning more about change facilitation, the Change Anything Now process, if you'd like to know more about energy testing, and I actually do demonstrations with people. So if you're actually interested in having a session, you might want to give me an email at dorenaroad@gmail.com and let me know that you'd like a session to be aired on my podcast.